Stacy Chalupsky, Vice President of Core Operations for Medica Health Plans. We have had a relationship with Firstsource for going on 4 years now. We started with claims operations and claims processing, and then we added in the last 2 years enrollment functions. And then most recently, one of my peers has also expanded to appeals and grievances, as well as call functions. One of the greatest assets that Firstsource brings to the table is the partnership. They meet us where we are at, being very patient, but then also bringing forward ideas and solutions that we have not thought of or that can enhance what we are doing. Really, there is a strategic partner, not just providing services, but truly as a partnership, wanting to help us become better, providing examples, even pushing their own staff, which then pushes our staff to perform better. I'll use the first engagement that kicked off our relationship with claims operations. We were in a place where we had very high inventory. We had issues in our claims platform. We could not keep up with the inventory. Quality was dropping, and we needed individuals to come in and really help us immediately bring ourselves back into what is an acceptable level of inventory and days work on hand. Firstsource very quickly came up to speed on what is really the easiest claims to process and helped us bring that volume down very quickly. Through that engagement, what we were able to identify is very easy changes that we needed to make to SOPs, for example, that then not only increased Firstsource quality scores, but it also increased our own claims processing quality scores for our Medica FTEs. And then we also continued to push forward and say, we had all of the easy claims under control. Let's move on and really start pushing Firstsource and work with them to now test the next level of claims, or our next tier of what are harder claims, to the point now where we have Firstsource almost supporting every tier of claims that we have. And through that engagement, again, we identified opportunities for SOP improvements. We identified opportunities for robotics and utilities to be ran. And then we also had Firstsource come in to talk to us about other solutions. And because of where we are right now, we aren't able to utilize those solutions, but what we are able to do is put them on a roadmap for the future and then continue to have those conversations. They are making us more productive and cost effective. So because of the improvements or the questions that we identified while using SOPs, while really taking the two teams and having them work together in a collaborative way, they've been able to think about how to look at claims differently, how to think about processing steps differently. So it's that strategic partnership that has really afforded us to come back into what is a acceptable level of inventory on a daily basis. But then in addition to that, they're constantly looking at ways to improve, and then through that improvement, we're measuring what that looks like from an administrative cost savings perspective. Does Firstsource have what it takes to take us into the future? And I believe yes. Continuing that strategic partnership with the forward thinking. Kind of my take on AI right now is in the position that we're at in really taking 8 claims platforms and rationalizing them down to 3. We're at an interesting stage in our migration. And so what we're doing is we're being very conscious in what and when we would implement certain AI capabilities, starting very really baseline with just the robotics and the utilities, cleaning up the processes, making sure that we get the core system functioning to its highest capability, and then starting to come in and layer in what we could do as additional lift from an AI perspective.